Welcome to Guns and Gear Network, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. I wanted to bring you this little short informational video that I felt like I needed to share with everybody, and it is forgotten items for your bug out vehicle. Now, you could consider it also your preps or whatever. So we look at grid down situations, things like that, or especially your bug out vehicle. And I've watched a ton of videos, other people, other YouTubers, and I've never seen a video like this. Maybe there's one out there and I missed it, but it's about items that I feel like people have forgotten that they need to keep on hand, especially in their bug out vehicle. You could possibly keep it at home, but I don't think that's smart because of the items we're getting ready to talk about. So in a lot of the bug out vehicle videos, I see a lot of gear. So I see, medical kits. I see, ways to make shelter and all these other things. And they mention a lot of times tools or jumper cables or jump boxes and all these other things. But I don't see a whole lot mentioned about spare parts. Now, with that in mind, I know we can't carry every part to rebuild a car, and there's multiple things that could cause a car to go down that would make it inoperable, right? So because of that, there's some usually common things that's fairly inexpensive for the most part in a lot of ways, and these will definitely leave you inoperable. Because if we have a flat, we got a spare, or we got a repair kit and all that. Okay, so if a brake caliper breaks or something at slow speeds, I can still maneuver around pretty good. I can probably fix that somehow, maybe whatever. But stuff like that I can usually get around. When a thermostat goes out, a coil goes out, somehow maybe a spark plug cracks or breaks, your serpentine belt, your radiator cap, those are type things that can just leave you stranded immediately. And those are the most common things that typically break on a car. So usually I know over the years, if I've had a situation where my wife was stranded or I was stranded in a vehicle, it was usually a lot of times one of those items. The radiator cap broke or blew, or the thermostat or a coil went bad. And with a coil, a lot of times you can still drive, but it rides really rough and it doesn't really go anywhere fast, and it can damage other things because it's not firing correctly and all that. With that said, I'm also referring to non-EMP proof vehicles, by the way, guys. I realize, true bug out vehicle, you probably want an older model that doesn't have all the latest electronics and things like that. But I'm talking our common things, common type vehicles that we're going to use that hopefully an EMP is not in play here as far as a bug out situation or needing to get away. I did a video back, it was later in the summer this year, where I got stranded, not 100%, but sort of stranded, because a bearing went out on my trailer that I was traveling back and forth to the coast with. And I talked about that. Are we really prepared? Well, this has got to do specifically about your vehicle. And I've got some items laid up here, and I just recently got in a few, and I wanted to talk a little bit about it. So with my vehicle, if you follow my channel, you know I'm doing the FJ Cruiser Bug Out series of videos where I'm adding equipment and things and items to my vehicle to kind of make it a little better for bug out and just overall, off-roading and things like that. So even if you're not bugging out, if you're an off-roader kind of person and you go off the beaten path quite often, a bad thermostat can leave you stranded with no way to get around, no way to fix it other than you got to get a new thermostat, right? So I went online and I bought an extra thermostat. I figured one day I'll probably use it either way. So if mine goes bad, I've got one on hand already. And as you get extra money, buy these things. I bought 2 coil packs. Did I buy a complete set? No, because normally you're going to have 1 to maybe 2 coil packs go out at a time. They usually go out 1 at a time, normally. So I bought a couple extra of these. Found these on eBay. These are not Toyota. This is actual genuine Toyota part. These are not. They were cheap enough. Literally, I think they were like, I don't know, $12 including shipping, $16 maybe including shipping for both. Spark plugs. I could buy some spark plugs, but I just recently changed my spark plugs. These are perfectly functional. They're not cracked, they're not broke, anything else. But a lot of times what happens, sometimes these spark plugs can go bad occasionally. They can actually crack. This right here is a ceramic type material. It can crack, it can break, things can happen. These are still perfectly functional. Just clean them up, Nothing wrong with them at all. I could use, clean them up a little better if I wanted to, but these are perfectly functional. All right, so a serpentine belt. This right here is actually my old serpentine belt. I'm big on preventative maintenance. If you watch my videos, you'll see that I just recently did a video on upgrading my battery. So I tried doing preventative maintenance as much as possible, changing hoses and belts and things before they actually break, if I can, hopefully, get that accomplished in a timely manner. So this happens to be an older belt, still functional. Could it get me through a bug out situation, a short grid down situation? Absolutely. And matter of fact, on the back, it's actually got how to route it on your vehicle. Right here, it's a little diagram. So you have that. And an extra belt. If you want to buy an extra belt brand new, that's fine, you can do that too. Also bought a new radiator cap. This happens to be my old radiator cap, which was fully functional, and I just put the new one on because I wanted the TRD logo on it, and I just kept the old one for packaging because I wanted an extra one anyway, so I just kept this one. This is perfectly functional. These things can go bad, and if your car overheats, you're not going anywhere. So that's my point to the video. Won't keep it too long, but also with these things you need tools, right? So you need to make sure that you have the correct tools to be able to change these. So go out there, figure out what tools you need for your vehicle, and keep them in the vehicle itself. So, a lot of my stuff on my vehicle is 10 millimeters, so I already know that going into it. So I might have a shallow socket, a deep socket, an extension, a few other things, type of socket set, whatever, but make sure they're good quality. Nothing like going out to buy some cheap tools and throw them in there and think you're going to use them. Next thing you know, the first time you need the 10 millimeter in a stranded situation and the socket break, or the socket shaft breaks, or anything like that. You just never know. So make sure you're putting pretty decent quality tools, even if you have to buy them secondhand, but you found some Craftsman or some decent Snap-on type brands, maybe at a yard sale or something. Buy some, put them back. There are some cheaper brands out there. I think I don't know what brand, house brand Lowe's and Home Depot are using now, but I actually have their Lowe's old house brand, which was Task Force at one time, I think. And it's been a great set. And I've actually done, I think, a video on that and talked about that. But to get you some basic tools to be able to change out these basic type parts. It's just like with this serpentine belt, I know I need a long enough screwdriver or pry bar to be able to tighten and release that tensioner for these. So even if the belt breaks and it's just wadded up and just in the thing and I clean it all out, or it falls off because it didn't get tangled up in anything when it broke, great. But I still have to have that long screwdriver or some type of pry bar to be able, that'll fit inside of that motor area to be able to pry back the tension to put this on and then release it back. Just keep that in mind. So some basic stuff, basic tools. I know this can get expensive, guys, but if you're serious about having these things as far as bugging out and making sure that you can keep going when you get in a situation, you need to have these things on hand. And again, it's also handy. I don't care if you're just going on vacation. If you get, luckily when this was on we vacationed from Saturday to Saturday. So on the way back was a Saturday, and just so happened the trailer went down at a decent enough time on Saturday where the store I called, local tire repair shop, actually did roadside assistance, all that stuff, so it played out well. But if I happened to be coming back maybe 2 hours later, maybe we decided to stop off and eat somewhere, 3 or 4 hours, I could have been stuck, maybe, potentially, I don't know. But I know if you're traveling at odd times, at night, whatever, kind of away from urban areas where you're near cities and things start getting a little trickier as far as repairs, so hopefully you'll be able to do it yourself. But anyway, guys, appreciate you tuning in. If you got any questions or anything like that, if you'd like to share some information about what we've talked about this afternoon, that would be great too. As always, guys, if you like our videos, give us a thumbs up. It's down there in that section. Also down in that section, there's the share content. That helps us get the word out and spread the word about the channel. That's always appreciated also. As always, guys, like, share, and subscribe. We'll bring another video shortly. Have a great day.